Teaching cupboards can be weird and mystical places. They become chock-a-block with different folders, different resources that you think you're going to use at some point in your teaching career. Here are 5 of the best objects that we think you can use to help you with your lesson planning and help bring some focus and energy to the classroom. It's worth pointing out that a lot of these objects are going to be familiar to you, but I'm hoping that at least one of the items on this list is something that you think you can add to your teaching cupboard, or maybe you can use it in a slightly different way. Number 1 is the biggest item on our list. It is a 2-person tent. Often when you come to the start of a topic, you want to redecorate your whole classroom. Make it look like an Arctic tundra or make it look like a rainforest. But for many teachers, you just don't have the time, resources, or space to do that. Having a small tent in the corner of the classroom is a great remedy to this. So you just have to create that setting in a smaller area in the corner of the room. Your class can still come up and explore it and have fun in there, but it's just going to take up a lot less time, a lot less space, a lot less room, and you can just put it in the corner of the classroom. It's just a really convenient way of introducing your class to a topic without having to spend lots of time and money redecorating the whole classroom. Number 2 is a set of random postcards. I think I bought this pack of 50 for about £4 on eBay. This could be something that you hand out to tables or to individuals in your class. It's a great way of talking about the different landscape in the images for your geography lesson, or you can talk about the people inside the image as an English lesson. They can start that as a way to start their creative writing process. Or you can use it as an art lesson. It's really great just to stick these in the middle of a piece of paper and let your class kind of continue the lines and continue the drawing and imagine what else could be in this image. They're an incredibly versatile resource and they're something you should definitely keep in your teaching cupboard. Number 3 is something that I think all teachers should have somewhere in their classroom, and it's either a hat or a scarf. These are really useful to start hot seating. Hot seating is when the teacher takes on the role of a historical or fictional character and then answers questions from the class as that character. Often it's not very practical to buy a whole new costume for the character, but you can just have a piece of clothing that indicates the start and end of the role-playing exercise. It doesn't even have to be something that reflects that character. My older brother actually used a fez for all of his characters. It's something that the class got used to. It became a bit of a joke, but it really got the kids thinking about the different characters, and it was a great way for him to indicate the start and end of the hot seating exercise. Number 4 is a super simple one. It's just a ball of string. This is really useful to plot out timelines in your history lessons or plot lines in your English lesson. It's just a really effective way of using the space in your classroom to plot out key points. So you can give it to one member of your class who then has to hold it, and that is a specific date in history or a specific plot point in a story. Then you pass it on to another member of your class, and that indicates another interesting point in the story, and across and across, and so on and so on. You can also use colours to colour the different bits of string to indicate certain things, or you can use pegs to do the same thing. I actually used this to map out what happens in the story of Romeo and Juliet. This was obviously with older children, but we could use it to indicate what happened in the story and the sequence that it went in. Sometimes when you take texts like that, you have to jump around in the narrative, and the chronology of it all sometimes gets a bit blurry. So mapping it out with a physical piece of string can really help a lot of the children in the class. Number 5 is even simpler. It's what every teacher needs to have, and that is a tennis ball. Or if you want to adapt it slightly, I now use an LED balloon. This is one of those things that you can play so many different games with a simple ball like this. This can also be your blank object. This is where this becomes anything that you or your class want it to be. It's a really, really great drama exercise. Pass it round the circle and they have to decide how they want to react and how they want to treat this object to reflect what it is in their mind. So they might be very careful with it because they think that it's a dragon's egg, or they might put it on the floor and start kicking it around because they think it's a football. It's just a really simple thing that you should keep in your teaching cupboard at all times. I also have a couple of bonus items that I think you should have in your teaching cupboard. The first is this. It's a crime scene tape. It's not really a crime scene one, but it gives off that effect. It's really useful to put across your classroom if the kids are coming in at the start of the day. It can really get their curiosity going if you have this tape everywhere and you cordon out a certain space. it can start whatever you want it to start. I know lots of teachers who have used crime scenes to create a sense of intrigue from their class as they begin a new topic. So it can be used in lots and lots of different ways. The other item I wanted to point out was a set of boom whackers. These are the long musical instruments. I think we've done a video on these before, but they are incredibly useful, not only for music lessons, but they can also be used in English lessons to indicate different characters. So you can get your class thinking about what kind of character has a lower pitch sound and which has a higher pitch sound. You can also give them out to the kids in your class who may struggle with attention and may need that extra bit of engagement for them to focus properly. You can give this to a member of your class, and then when it gets round to the Gruffalo appearing in the story, for example, they have to hit this. However you want to use it, it's an incredibly versatile and useful musical tool that can just help bring some focus and energy to those children who may struggle a little bit. I hope you found at least one of the things that I've mentioned today useful in some way. Maybe you want to take a look at your teaching cupboard now and think about what you can get rid of and maybe some of the things that you may have missed in there. Let me know if you have any other essential items that you think teachers should have in the classroom, and I shall speak to you very soon. Goodbye.